Yo, what is up everyone? It's CoffeeCraft, and today I'm going to be showing you step by step in survival what I believe is the easiest and the fastest way to raid, clear, and drain an ocean monument, or even just an area of ocean. That way you can make any kind of epic guardian farm or base or both. And this is going to make use of these really cool flying machines and flying machine pushers that are going to save you hours and hours, if not days of work, as opposed to manually draining the ocean, which would take far too long. I think you could get this done in a day if you follow along. And this is going to use a really cool trick. That way you have some water walls on the outside as opposed to some traditional glass or block wall. That way it looks really epic, cool, and unique, and you can show this off and make some epic base or farm in the future. So let's get our resources and get into it. Once you have the items required, which will be in the description below, you'll want to find a ocean monument, which can be in a deep ocean, deep frozen ocean, deep cold ocean, deep lukewarm ocean, or deep warm ocean. And you'll want these items here with a chest plate, full protection for armor, these potions, the milk buckets, slime blocks, a hoe, a sword of sharpness 5, and then these enchantments. That way you do not die easily from the guardians. And then you'll want to go to the front middle section here, the topmost area. Place TNT, sand, and then flint and steel to break in, kill that first elder guardian. You could also remove them or transport them, but that'll be a lot of work and a whole nother tutorial on its own. Now I'm going to place a conduit up here because with a conduit it helps restore oxygen while you're underwater, and it also speeds up your mining efficiency, which will be useful later on once we're removing the ocean monument. And you just need to make this 5x5 shape on 2 axes with a 3x3 water section in the middle. And then I'm going to use a slime block to place the conduit right in the center. With slime blocks we can remove them instantly, even with mining fatigue underwater, which is why they're very useful for raiding this ocean monument. And then I'm just going to use these potions sometimes to help me breathe and see better underwater as well. Now once I have this, I'm going to go to the front right section here, use the TNT, sand, and flint and steel again to break into this front right section, and then go inside of there. There'll be a elder guardian somewhere around this area here. We can get rid of him again with our sharpness 5 sword. And then go to the front left section here. There'll be another elder guardian in this chamber. Get rid of him. And then we're going to use a milk bucket to get rid of the mining fatigue effect. And things will get a lot easier from here. Now we're also going to want to try and find the sponges, if there is. So there can be 1, 2, or 0 sponge rooms within any ocean monument. So you want to explore all the rooms. They're all arranged and connected either vertically or horizontally, so you'll just need to swim around. You can go behind the pillars to avoid damage from the guardians. Not too difficult once you're inside here. And then also in the very central section, there will be a treasure chamber that is within this dark prismarine case. You can get inside of there, take those gold blocks if you want, get those goodies. While you're doing this, you'll want to have the potions of night vision, potions of water breathing, strength ideally 2, and then golden carrots or golden apples to help you restore strength quickly. And then you'll want to have aqua infinity, depth strider 3, respiration 3, and definitely a chest plate. Now we're going to clear out the ocean monument using a beacon with haste 2. Again, the conduit is very useful, so you don't need potions of water breathing. And I'm just going to use as many beacons as I can. The more effects, just the easier and better, but the main thing is having haste 2. And then we're going to use invisibility potions this whole time while clearing it out, while only wearing boots or only wearing a helmet. That way the guardians don't see you. You can't use a chest plate or leggings, otherwise they'll attack you one at once. And then while you're clearing out the monument, you'll want to stand on the blocks and use the helmet. That way you can instant mine underwater. And then if you're going to be picking up the items, just switch to only the boots. Then you can swim faster and then go back and forth between doing this. This took me around 30 minutes using this method. You could probably beat me and do it even faster. You don't need to remember the coordinates for the monument since they're always from Y39 to Y61, and they have a 58 by 58 length and width. You'll want to remove plus 2 blocks outside of this for the highest efficiency farm if you're going for that. For most single player worlds, that would be far more than necessary. And then once you're done all that, just leave the 4x4 pillars on the outside bottom area here. That way you remember the outside of the farm, and again, don't need to write down any coordinates. More can be removed later as well. And then I found even more sponges here, which is going to make it even faster and more efficient for clearing the final portions of water. You might even want to go to another ocean monument just to get like about a stack or two of sponges to help you out. With this all completed, we're going to go to the outside edge of the monument. We're going to get all of our half slabs, get rid of any kelp that's in the way, and we're going to place these half slabs with a 1 block gap between the monument and the half slab. Don't have these be a full slab, just a half slab. And then we're going to place this around the entire monument. Doesn't matter if you're going a block up or down. If you want, you can make it all even if you like things symmetrical, so you'd have to remove even more blocks underwater, but that's definitely not necessary. Just place this around the entire edge of the farm, and this will be for putting our barrier or perimeter walls for all the flying machines. That way, of course, water does not come pouring back in while we're clearing the monument. Of course, we wouldn't want that. And then I just got rid of any blocks that were right on the outside of these half slabs in case that got in the way of anything, but it's not actually necessary to do that. And then I just placed even the slabs just floating on the water there. That's totally fine as well. And continue doing this around the entire monument. Now, once that's all completed, you're going to want to go to each corner of these slabs and make either a 1x1 or slightly larger pillar straight up from the slabs. Go ahead to every single corner and do this. And after that, you're going to need to place 1 layer of gravel on top of every single slab at first, actually. That way when we're placing down our walls, they don't get destroyed from falling on top of a half slab. So you'll see here that I forgot that at first. So of course I placed all this gravel and it did not do anything. So go ahead and place the 1 block of gravel or a gravity affected block on top of all of these half slabs first. With that done, we can now make a machine here using a observer with redstone hooked into a repeater that goes into just a regular piston, and then just place your gravity affected block on top of that corner piece there. And I just use slime blocks for the outside because they're easy to and quick to remove. You'll want to continue wearing either only the boots or the helmet while doing this. That way, again, the guardians do not damage you, and the invisibility potions, it's pretty easy to avoid them if you just jump onto the outside, but we don't want that nuisance, so the invisibility potions make this so much easier. So go ahead and repeat this process with the same little machine here to get these walls done around the entire perimeter of the monument. Here you'll see me just going around the outside perimeter of the walls now, just checking to see if there's any imperfections, so any slabs in case I like missed placing them, or a block on the inside or outside edge of the slabs that might get in the way in the future, getting rid of any kelp or seaweed, just making sure that you've done it all perfectly. You don't want to miss a portion of the wall here. Next, we will make our walls that will stop the flying machines from, of course, pushing down the walls that we've made. So we'll place 1 gravel block in the first corners, then 7 leaf blocks, then 8 gravel blocks with 1 gravel sticking out before the last one, 5 leaf blocks there, followed up with another 7 leaf blocks. This ravine was in the way, so I just placed some blocks below it. But again, we're going to do 8 gravel blocks out again, with 1 gravel sticking out before the last one, 5 leaf blocks, and then again 7 leaf blocks, 8 gravel blocks with 1 sticking out, 5 leaf blocks, 7 leaf blocks again, and then 7 gravel with 1 sticking in just at the very end there. Now we're going to build this right up to 1 block above the ocean level. So just go ahead and do all of the gravel blocks straight up and then all of the leaf blocks straight up. This should be pretty quick and easy for you to do on this one side here, and you can do this on any side since the dimensions of the monument are the same all around. And then the next side on the opposite will be a little bit different. Now we're going to go into the bottom corner here and place 2 gravel blocks going straight up, and then a total of 8 gravel blocks left from the corner with 6 leaf blocks, so they'll finish there. And then it's going to be 6 leaf blocks for everything, so 6 leaf blocks to the left. I'm just placing leaves on the ground here so you can see everything on the same vertical plane this way. And then 9 gravel blocks with 1 coming inwards there, 6 leaf blocks there, 6 leaf blocks to the left. Again, 9 gravel blocks here with the 1 sticking inwards in the same spot, which is right there, 6 leaf blocks, 6 leaf blocks again. The 9 gravel blocks will go there again with the 1 coming inwards, 6 leaf blocks to the left, and then a final gravel going straight up just to the water level on this side. The other side was 1 above. Now this side has to be only up to the water level. And then just build all of these blocks in the same pattern straight up to the surface of the water, straight from the bottom to the top, all the way from the left to the right. Make sure you do not miss a single leaf block or single gravel block here. And at the same time, just keep using your invisibility potion and the boots. That way you can swim fast and the guardians will not damage you. And you should be able to get this done in no time. But again, it's just critical you do not miss up the placement. That way the flying machines don't push down the walls or get messed up. Double check that you've done this the same as me. So the first side I showed you was on the left there, and the second side was on the right, and all the blocks should be as is. You can look from this angle here to triple check that. Next, we're just going to make a pathway for making the flying machines, which will be on the first side of the leaf walls or the leaf gravel walls that are 1 block above the water. And then this will be 3 blocks above the surface of the water, and we're just going to build this straight across. And just continue using your invisibility potions, that way you don't get attacked. And straight across here, connected to the other side, and then a little platform to get up. Now for the flying machines, which will just go on the left of the pathway, place a temporary block followed by a solid block with 7 slime blocks going towards the center here, with a temporary block on the left of that last slime block, with another 6 slime blocks going towards the center, another solid block at the end with a temporary block on the right. And then we're just going to repeat the same pattern from right to left here. You'll get a good view from it above in a second. Just copy this all the way across beside the pathway there and get rid of your temporary blocks after that. Now for some sticky pistons, which will go into these center slime blocks like so. and that will be on every single one of these center slime blocks all the way across. And then we're just going to place furnaces on these outside of the sticky pistons. That way you don't accidentally activate the flying machines and they fly off on you. Then observers facing straight down into those second slime blocks, like so. The same on each flying machine. And then observers straight up in the center slime blocks. Again, on every single flying machine. And then these machines are complete for now. Now for the machines that will push down the flying machines as they go from left to right, we're going to place 6 scaffolding straight up. And then we're going to place another 6 scaffolding straight up from there. We're going to place a couple glass blocks like so, with one coming inwards like that. A piston facing down from there. Get some slime blocks. Place one there. One above there, 3 slime blocks there, and then one down, a regular piston straight down there, a observer facing that piston. Make sure that the red dot is there. And then we're going to place a block of redstone there, just a temporary piston going straight up from there. And then from here, we're going to place a piston straight down like so. We can get rid of this piston here. Then back from here, we're going to place 2, 3, 4 slime block with a block of redstone right there. A piston above that for now. And then we're going to place a piston straight down from here. So you got to go down into the scaffolding. Place this piston straight down. That's perfect. We can now get rid of this piston. And then we're going to need to go from below here for the next couple blocks. Place a slime block there, a solid block there, make that 2 solid blocks, another slime block there. Get rid of that top solid block. And then we're going to go back up to here. We're going to get a sticky piston, place that straight up there, place a block of redstone there, and then go on to this block of redstone, get a sticky piston, and place it right on that bottom slime block there, facing up. So you can barely reach it from here. And then we're going to get a gravity affected block and place it on top of the sticky piston. And then we can get rid of these scaffolding blocks for now. Same with these bottom scaffolding blocks. And then just go ahead and double check that everything looks exactly as I have done here. Those iron blocks are just solid blocks. Make sure all the pistons and the observer is facing the same direction. With the first one done, we're going to go on to this last leaf block here. Place the glass straight up from there, and to the side, the 6 scaffolding up and 6 scaffolding in. And then we're just going to repeat the same thing, the exact same placement for all the blocks. So you can just go ahead and watch the first part that I showed you again for all of these flying machine pushers. There are no differences at all between each of these. And then we're just placing them further down the line, which you'll see, which is on that last leaf block in each of those 7 leaf blocks. While doing this, of course, just keep using your potions of invisibility. That way you don't die from the guardians. And I'm just going to show you a little time lapse here from above. That way you can just, again, double and triple check your placement of all of these flying machine pushers. With all of the flying machines completed for this side, just make sure that you get rid of all of the scaffolding. Now go on to the opposite side of what you just built. And then get your scaffolding, go between these leaf blocks, and then on the gravel block here, place 6 scaffolding blocks straight up. And then another 6 scaffolding blocks straight out from there. And get your temporary glass blocks, place 3 of them straight up and 1 there. Place a piston straight down from there. Go ahead and get some slime blocks, place 1 there, 1 straight up from there, 3 across from there, 1 straight down, get a piston facing straight down there, and then we'll get a observer facing that piston. Make sure you see that red dot right there, and then go from above, place a block of redstone there, a temporary block above that, and then a piston facing straight down here. Get rid of that temporary block, go from above now, place the slime blocks straight until the end of the scaffolding, so 4 of them there. Place a block of redstone there, a temporary block above that, and then place a piston facing straight down there. Get rid of your temporary block. Now we'll need to go from below here, place a slime block there and another there, a solid block there, slime block below. Get rid of that 1 slime block there. And then from above here, we're going to place a sticky piston facing straight up from that solid block. And then a redstone block right there. Go from here, get a sticky piston, and then just hit that solid or that slime block right at the bottom there and get that sticky piston facing straight up from there. You can just barely reach it from the corner here. Place a gravity affected block straight above that sticky piston. Get rid of all of your scaffolding again, the one going up and across, that way it doesn't get in the way in the future. And then keep on drinking your invisibility potion so you don't get attacked. Place the glass block from there, the scaffolding there, and we're just repeating the exact same machine again. No difference at all, no difference in the placement. So I'm just going to show you a time lapse, that way you can check the placement of the scaffolding and the glass blocks and the machine here that is going to push down the flying machines as they go. No differences again between any of these flying machines and the placement relative to the leaf blocks and the gravel blocks. So again, we have 4 identical flying machine pushers on this side. The placement of the glass blocks and the machines is no different relative to the leaves and the gravel. And this should be looking nice and beautiful, just like so. Before we turn on the flying machines, we're going to get rid of any blocks that might be in between any of the leaves here. Get rid of any kelp or seaweed or anything like that, and any solid blocks. So I had to get rid of this beacon here because that would have stopped the flying machines. And then we're going to go on to our flying machines here. Get rid of the furnaces only on the outside there, since those were just stopping them from being accidentally set off. And then get a flint and steel. You can go to any of them, and then just the closest observer, hit it with the flint and steel here. So that one there. And then I'm just going to do it from this side to this side, again on that closest observer. And then if you set this all correctly, then the flying machines are going to go to that side, and then the flying machine pushers are going to push it down a block, and then it's going to go across to the other side where those machine pushers were again 1 block lower, and then those machines are going to push down the flying machines again, and you can just settle in, relax, and watch as these machines do hours and hours and hours, if not days of work for you, and save you so much time and energy. And you could do this on like an even larger scale if you wanted, or maybe even like make a circle base if you understand the placement of all these machines, and make any kind of base or a mega farm with all of these machines. One thing that I could have done just to do a little bit more work with the flying machines is just dig like 1 or 2 blocks down of the pillars. Just remember the placement, but dig lower. That way the flying machines would have went 1 block lower and cleared out a little bit more water for me. And then we can go ahead and get rid of all these temporary glass blocks. We do not need them anymore. And then we'll get rid of the pathway in the middle. Go down below, and for any remaining water, you can just use the sponges that you collected from the monument to get rid of it. To get rid of the sponges from being dry, just put them in a furnace, heat them up, and then they'll be good to go. The more sponges you have, the quicker and easier this is. Or if you just let the flying machines go a little bit lower. And then that way in the future you can make some awesome kind of farm or base or both. We can get rid of the flying machines and the redstone there now. Watch out if you're playing hardcore or survival, since there will be like a giant mob pit in here now. Then just use flint and steel to get rid of the leaves from the bottom and the top. You might miss a few random blocks from that, which is okay. You could recollect the leaves, of course, if you want. For me, I don't care about leaves. And you might just have to mine a few of the remaining blocks, and then we will get rid of the gravel there as well. So from below, this will be the easiest. Just place a slab or a torch below that bottom gravel piece. So just those extra walls, not the very outside. I occasionally just place some sponges and slabs just to soak up any water that seeps in. That way it just doesn't bother me. And do this on both sides. That way we have a nice square. Next, go into a corner like so. And sometimes I just place a solid block outside there. That way water doesn't seep in, or a sponge. Now we're going to go onto the outside of that corner in the water here. And then we're going to get some slabs and place 4 of them right outside the corner like so. I'm going to place a temporary slab here, get rid of whatever block or any block if you've placed it there. Just another slab there, get rid of the 1 slab there. And then I'm going to get a bunch of gravel or gravity affected blocks and place them above all of these slabs. And we're just going to build this straight up to the surface of the water. So this will be to make those cool water walls instead of making like a glass wall or leaving it with gravel ugly walls. Of course, if you're doing glass walls around the farm, you don't have to do this. This is just to make those cool water walls. Then come back on the inside here. And then go ahead and mine this gravel block here, and the one here, and the one right in the corner there, so we can get rid of all these since we have the gravel on the outside here. Then we're going to go ahead and mine these 3 slabs here, and then get rid of the 1 block that was below these slabs like so. And since I'm OCD, I just wanted to place blocks around there. You don't need to though. And then from here, we can go ahead and make these cool water walls by just mining this bottom gravel piece here on each of these outer slabs. So the 4 outer slabs that we placed like so. And you just got to make sure that you do it like this. That way, of course, the water doesn't all refill itself and take away all the work that you've done, which would be awful. So if you're very hesitant about things and not sure, just go ahead and make a backup for it, the farm or the monument as you go. And then we're gonna just do this in every single corner. So repeat the same process with the slabs and the gravel above the slabs. Go on, head into the inside, get rid of the slabs that are there and the gravel that's there too. Dig down from there and then mine the bottom gravel blocks, so that way the wall and the corners look like so. Again, just repeat the same thing on each corner. Just to prevent any water from overflowing onto the inside, we're going to get some temporary blocks and just place 2 of them from the slab and up. So that's like 1.5 blocks above the slab and all the way around. I just found this kept any water streams from coming into the inside. That way you have some nice and pretty looking straight clean water walls, and do this all the way around the entire perimeter. With that little bit done, you can go onto the outside of the walls in the water and just hit that bottom gravel block, and then the rest of the gravel is all going to come falling down. And then just do this all the way around. That way you get these really cool water walls on the outside of the farm, as opposed to having some kind of basic wall or glass wall, which I think is pretty unique and cool. And of course, saw all this from Nimbom, figured it out from his videos. So all the credit for all this goes to him for his amazing ideas and what he does. And then occasionally you'll just get a random water stream that'll like seep in, which is weird, but I'll show you how to fix that once we've gotten rid of all this gravity affected block on the outside. So what you want to do is, if you have any of these random streams that came in, is just build all around it first. So kind of build, like, encase that stream, and then just put that gravity affected block inside of that stream once it is fully encased in other blocks. That way the water doesn't spread out again. So like this all around it, and then just a gravity affected block right in the middle of that encasement, and do this all the way around to get these really cool straight water walls. With this all done, you now have this epic water wall around the cleared out ocean monument. and I hope this was easy for you to follow. If it was, give it a like. If it wasn't, give it a dislike. Any comments or suggestions, please let me know on how to improve the tutorials. I'll be doing some in the future, not all the time, alternating between this and hardcore. And in the future, I'll do a Guardian farm once I progress there in my hardcore, if I die in hardcore. And if you thought this video gave you some value, be sure to subscribe. That way you can get more in the future. Have a good day. Bye bye.